We're also going to do these little mini fringy bangs on her that are not too committed, not too heavy, that connect down into the rest. We're going to start right there in the bangs, so let's get a little close, Kristen. Remember, if you ask questions on there, Kristen will try to ask as many of them as you put in there, and I will try to answer them the best that I can as well. So we want these like sort of non-committed little fringy bangs that you can like almost like curl in and get this like little bit of softness there. So we're going to take a very small triangle to start because she had concerns. She said, I don't have a very big forehead, which is a very good concern to have when you're doing bangs. I always say smaller the forehead, longer the bangs, or like less bangs you are really able to comfortably commit to. And just because when you think about it, like when you look at this area right here, specifically the eyebrow to the hairline, this area is short. So if we had full bangs, some of these hairs are going to be very, very short that fill in right there. So it just like, it limits what you can do with bangs the size of the forehead that you have. Take it or leave it, you know, maybe it's good or bad. But we're going to do some like little mini bangs that then get longer quickly. So the first thing that we're going to do now is look up a little bit. We're going to take this little mini triangle. We've got like however much weight we wanted to commit to this bang, just like right here in the triangle. And we're going to, like here's a rule of thumb with bangs, leave them longer than you think they need to be. So like, even if she's like, I want them to curl like right there, we're not going to cut them to right there. We're probably going to cut to like right there. And we know that they're going to jump up a bit whenever she goes to like style them. So we're leaving them longer than we think they need to be, making them slightly shorter in the middle, getting longer out towards the side. I'm going to pick up my first guide. So I've got my first guide right there. Pulling this down, slide past the guide, and then we're going to come in and just connect just slightly short to long. And that will be our like a little mini fringe that can sit forward, but we're not fully committing to the fringe just yet. Then from there, what we'll do is we're going to take a diagonal back section off the corner of that fringe. Here, you can stay right over here.
Okay.
Off the corner of this fringe, taking a simple diagonal back section like that. We're going to comb that down and forward. We're going to very loosely connect it first with a razor and then blend down to longer lengths. And here's a cool thing about using a razor. The cool thing about it is that you can sort of like cut not so deep and connect very loosely and then commit a little bit more as you go. It's a much more free tool, I think, than using a scissor.
When do you decide to cut wet versus dry?
Well, I think there's definitely a few things that go into that decision. One big one is if I'm using a razor, I'm almost always cutting wet. I really don't like to use a razor on dry hair. If I'm doing color and I'm doing a big change with the haircut, I try to cut first so that I can color to the shape of the haircut that I'm cutting. But if it's something like this where I'm layering and the haircut is staying kind of similar, you know, she's growing her hair out, so we're not cutting a lot of hair off, then I can do the color first if I want and then come in and cut afterwards. Maybe I would rough draft in the cut and then come back and commit to the cut, or like define the cut a little more. She had one little hair stuck on her mouth there. So we're pulling this kind of down into the side right now with diagonal back sections. I'm looking for my guide, like this is gonna be my guide. This short piece right there is where I'm starting, and that's the guide. Sliding past it, we're getting incredible light right now, it's stunning. And light hands and long razor movements while I pull this section down and forward like that. So you can see what we're getting coming off. We're getting all this like really nice softness in my fingers. Like that's the same softness that you're gonna get right here on the hair. That's another cool thing about the razor is that it's like a mirror image in your fingers of what you've left on the hair.
I struggle cutting the other side, someone said.
Okay, well that's, well as I say, that's good. It's not good, but, but I will show you here in a minute an easy way to think about cutting the other side. I think using a razor as well is a great way to just like cut in these face framing shapes with the most ease and accuracy. Because when you're working with a scissor, it's like you have to go like this, then you like flip around and it like can take some like difficult body contortion and stuff to get the lines that you really want with a scissor. But with a razor, you just stand in the front and all you do is lift your elbow. So if you notice on this side, my elbow is in like this. So it's like my elbow's down and I'm working down this way. On the other side, we're gonna lift our elbow and work with the top of the razor. So come close to the razor one more time. So you can see here, that I'm kind of working with the bottom half of the razor. Like I'm not working like this, I'm working like this. Bottom half of the razor, sliding down, 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 away from the face. This is a haircut I do all the time. You know, like a lot of people with long hair wear similar shapes to this. You know, you can do a million versions of it, you can do it a million different ways, but a lot of people, probably 80% of people wearing long hair are wearing some face framing, you know?
Does a razor distribute the weight differently than scissors?
Yeah, absolutely it does. A razor is going to always give you a softer line than a scissor. No matter, you can cut a pretty blunt line with a razor, you can cut like a really accurate line with a razor, but it's always, always, always going to be softer than cutting with a scissor because there's movement in the cut. So even a very little bit of movement, which would be more blunt, is still going to give you a softer line than just cutting straight with a scissor. All right, so we'll come over to this side here. Looking at the top of that triangle, like wherever we cut those little mini non-committed bangs, we're then going to go diagonal back from there and bring this forward. On this side, we lift our elbow up. So on that side, elbow in. On this side, elbow up. Like so, lift your elbow high. We're switching from the bottom half of the razor to the top half of the razor there. I'm gonna like sort of put my elbow out of the way so you guys can see, but in a general way, you wanna be thinking elbow up higher. And we're doing light movements with my razor, not a lot of pressure at all. Just like touching the hair with the razor and gliding along.
How do they sign up for classes with you?
Here, come over to this side, maybe it might be a little bit easier. So, depending on what class it is, I usually have a link in my profile that you can sign up for class. For instance, we've got class coming up in Alabama. Kristen is actually helping me with that class. That's going to be on the 26th of June, and we have 8 tickets left for that class only. We have a big class coming up in Pennsylvania, 9% sold out, so you can still get a good amount of tickets, maybe like 25 tickets or something left for that one. That is like a masterclass demo where we get deep into haircutting. We're going to show something like 5 or 6 different haircuts in that class. But both of those have a link in my bio. Then, I think that my class for Premier Orlando is sold out right now. So we've got a hands-on class in Orlando that's sold out. If you were not able to get tickets to that class, then remember that Ben and Allie both have classes together at Premier Orlando presenting cut and color that will be under the name Fancy Hairdressers. I'm presenting with Babyliss there. So if you weren't able to get in my hands-on class, you can always see Ben and Allie, or you can come, or both, I'd say. You can come to the Babyliss stage and see me present on the Babyliss stage all weekend in Orlando. I'll be up there. I'm even doing the one chip challenge, which is like a crazy hot sauce eating competition on stage for Babyliss, so that's going to be completely nuts.
How do they join online?
So if you want to join online education, all you got to do is click the link in my bio. It's $15 a month. We've got like something like 50 hours of education on there. We've got cut, we've got color, we've got style, we've got an entire curly series that just got added on there today with curly cutting, hand-painted color for curls, protective styling, and a 2-strand twist. We've got more videos to come every single month. So, sign up for that. Link in my bio, fancyhairdressers.com. You can watch as much as you want. You can cancel whenever you want. There's no commitments or anything. You can come and go. So again, we're looking for our guides. Like that's the guide right there. Like that little short, little hair right there. That one is my guide. Tight tension, light pressure with the razor, just grazing the surface of this section, sliding down, just taking off these like little skinny hairs that are too fine anyway.
How do you trim the hair a very little amount on a second appointment with the razor?
Well, you have to think about how much weight are you trying to take out? What kind of a stroke are you trying to use with the razor? So if you want to do less, you need tight tension and a shorter stroke with the razor. So today I'm using a stroke like this.
They want to see up close to the razor, and if it's a feather razor?
No guard on this razor, but you could use a guard if you wanted to. It comes with a disposable guard, or a detachable guard, I mean to say.
How do you know you cut both sides equally?
Okay, cutting both sides equally. A few things to think about. Make sure your sectioning matches. The angles are the same on both sides, and your elevation is the same. We call this T to the part, right? So like if our angle of the part is like that, we want to come out like this. So it creates like a capital T. Like this wouldn't be it, like that's not it, that's it, right? So as long as your angles and your elevation are even, you're gonna be in a good place to have even layers on both sides. But then the next thing you need to do is you have to do a visual check, so you gotta look at it. The easiest way to know if it's the same is to look at it and see if it's the same. Sometimes I'll like grab from certain areas and see like if I pull this forward, are things like stopping in the same place? Very nice, great. Pull from here.
Going across that.
Nice. Pull from there. Pretty nice. We can also do the ponytail check, which is a fun check to do, where I'll like put the hair up and see like what can fall out of a ponytail on both sides and see if that's looking even as well, which it is. Loving that. I love this like little mini fringe, like not fully committed. Look at the profile that it gives her too. She gets this like little bit of stuff that falls forward, and then this just wraps around these incredible cheekbones that she has. So,
Thank you.
now we're gonna layer the back a little.
How often do you change your razor, and when did you start doing hair?
I change the razor every single haircut that I do. So we just did her face framing with that. Maybe you could get away with doing one more face frame or one more bang or something with that razor blade, but I would probably change it. She already likes it.
It looks so good.
She's feeling good about it. That's perfect. These are the reactions that we want. And the hair's not even blown out. They love it and know it's going good. I'm posting her color later today too. So maybe not today, actually. I'll post her color tomorrow. I'm posting this doll's haircut today. Here, go get close to that doll. Look, this is going on my page later today. This crazy doll, these crazy shoulders. We're talking about the makeup. We're talking about foundation differences. That's going up later today.
When will you do a class in Dallas, Texas?
Here's on your last, yeah. Different one today. What was that? I'm sorry?
When will you do a class in Dallas, Texas?
Ooh, we love Dallas. We usually go to Flower Mound because we've got a friend who's got a salon in Flower Mound, Texas. It'll probably be next year. This year is filled up really quickly. All right, so now we want to layer the back. So we're just separating out from the very top of the head here, and we're taking vertical sections through the back. We're doing simple short to long layers, little like round concaves here. So lifting up and out, looking for this hair that is like really skinny on the ends. You know, something she said is like, I like for my hair to feel like thick and full, and she's growing it, and it's kind of fine, and we're bleaching it. So it's like, you have to be careful not to overlayer it.
They want you to come to Spain and London.
Amazing. We're working on London. We'll see about Spain. Maybe someday it would be great to do class in Spain again. All right, so we're lifting up. Looking for my guides. Like my guide is right through there, right? So I'm just angling my fingers down and cutting short to long out. And look, people are like, won't it be disconnected because I didn't lift everything up? It actually is going to blend from shorter lengths all the way down to longer lengths, and it will connect all the way through. And then the last thing that we'll do is we'll cut off some of this like tail. There's a little bit of a skinny bit at the very back.
Someone is saying they can't find the link to join the online classes.
It's just in my profile. If you click the link in my bio, it will be there. You can also just type in fancyhairdressers.com and go that way. But you can just click the link in my bio.
What length shears are you using?
This is a 5.5 inch scissor here. I like a 5.5 for almost everything. I usually use a 5.5 or a 7 inch scissor. We're just pivoting these sections around. Really, really simple stuff for long hair, but absolutely essential for long hair as well. Then when we get to about here, where we're passing the highest point of the head, we should start running out of hair to cut. Yep, there we go. Because we took our guide for this layer from like right there at the top. So once we get to that point, there really shouldn't be a lot to cut unless we make a brand new guide.
What scissor do you use, and are Olivia Garden shears okay?
I don't know about Olivia Garden scissors because I'm not familiar with them very much. I do like some of their brushes. But I would say we make our own brand of scissors. It's called Fancy. See? Fancy.
The name on his shirt.
Yep, it's on my shirt. Fancy. Everything in our brand is called Fancy, but the reality is that it's all very simple, right? We're trying to make simple, affordable tools that are high quality that every hairdresser can use, you know? That you don't have to be on a payment plan, nothing needs to be on layaway, you know, none of that stuff. We just want it to be good and for it to be affordable. So we took a scissor that was normally like $350 or $500. I've seen very similar scissors priced at $500, and we price ours at $180. So we're really just not marking it up the same as these other companies. So you can see we pivot around, so it's like we're there, then we're here. Our next one, we take some of the top corner, take a vertical section, so So we're just pivoting those sections around to the side, and this should be about our last section because all of this got cut in the face frame, so it's where we're getting our guide from. Maybe there's one more after that, but that should be pretty close to the last one. Yep, there we go. Just a little trimming that we need to do. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna have you stand up. You come right behind the chair for me. You can just put your hands right here, face straight ahead. Whenever I'm doing the length, if their hair is longer than the chair, and I'm taking off more than like a little tiny centimeter, then I like to have them stand up. We know that when we're doing a one length, it needs to be at 0 degrees elevation. So it means we can't lift it up. And if you're cutting on the back of the chair, it's totally lifted up. All right, so you can see here, we've got this like, the perimeter is real skinny. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this cape and we're gonna rotate it around a tiny bit so we get a flatter surface to work on.
Sonia says that she loves the shears you gifted her from a little giveaway.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so that's probably someone who's won. It's either a giveaway at a Goldwell show or somebody who watched one of these lives and won the giveaway at the end. So remember, all you gotta do is watch until the end of the live for a chance to win. Today we're not giving away scissors, we're giving away a brand new flat iron, smoothing iron, whatever you wanna call it, from Babyliss, one of my favorites. And you can see here, we're literally just trying to clean that up. Like what's so skinny at the bottom, we're just cleaning it up. Keeping a simple round shape going too. I don't want this to feel a lot shorter, I just want it to feel healthier.
Do you do a V-cut often? I'm getting asked a lot for them now.
Yeah, I mean, I think like on long hair, when hair is really long, unless you want a really blocky perimeter, I'm doing like round shapes, like U shapes. If you cut this off square, when she brings her hair forward, she's gonna end up with like a short piece and a long piece because the back is gonna end up looking shorter when it's pulled to the front because it's all cut the same length and it had to travel further to get to the front. So if you want this to all come together in a really nice way in the front and to not kind of have like multiple lengths there, you got to do kind of a rounded shape. It's got to get slightly longer towards the back. I think it's a very natural like way for long hair to be as well.
What's
There's a nice flow. Oh, go ahead.
What's your least favorite haircut to do?
Least favorite haircut? Geez, I don't know. Maybe a flat top. I haven't done a lot of flat tops. If there's a lot of cops out there that want to come and be clients or whatever, I'll give you a flat top. Is that who's wearing them? Like, I don't know.
When is the next time you're platforming live?
Like in person?
It
We're going to
just
go
says-
live next Thursday, right here on Instagram again. I know we probably don't have as much audience right now as we normally do because we go live every single Thursday between 4 and 6. But you know, this Thursday I've got my wife's birthday dinner, so I didn't want to like get stuck at the salon very late doing a live stream and get divorced. So I'm just trying to get out of here a little bit faster. So yeah, we're just looking for that like simple little like round, like a little bit of a round shape.
They said in person, yes.
In person. So again, we've got live dates in Alabama and in Florida coming up between now and August. You can catch me live in Pensacola for a private, not a private, but like not a big hair show, but like an actual demo at a salon where you get like up close and personal Q&As. You get to hang out. It's very like chill. 6 different haircuts. It'll be a great time. If you're going to be at Premiere Orlando, I will be there too on the Babyliss stage all day Sunday and Monday. I'm going to be doing hot sauce challenges. I'll be doing haircuts. I'll be emceeing. I'll be hanging out at the stage. We have our own classroom for fancy as well that Ben and Allie will be in. So, just come to Premiere Orlando.
What is the difference between concave and convex layers?
A convex layer is a layer that follows the shape of the head, right? So it's round. It's going to sit very kind of like full on certain shapes. It sits sort of round. It's great for curly hair to expand the curl. Concave layers are going to be sort of anti-head shape. They go shorter to longer, and they save weight and length at the bottom so your hair doesn't get too skinny, and they give you kind of movement and everything through the top.
They want to know if you're coming to California.
I am not. Not this year, I don't think. Maybe we'll end up in San Diego later this year. All right, come a little bit to the front. So our last check for the length, we bring everything forward. I asked her to lift her chin a little high. There we go. And then we're just going to check these lines. Because again, I want them to come together like nicely. And it doesn't have much, but there's just a couple little hairs we're gonna clean up. And you can see, like, look at these bangs already, right? Like, you see how this is like, it's just framing so perfectly without blow drying, without doing anything. She's just getting this nice, like, soft, like, frame of the face. So you know that it's gonna work out well if it can air dry well. And that's the goal. We say effortless real life hair. We're looking for like really easy to style that works really well with our clients, like natural movement in their hair.
How do you decide between concave and convex layers? And how long were you training before you felt like an actual hairdresser?
I think I felt like a hairdresser right away, but I had a lot of moments, like realization moments of like, oh, I'm not as good as I think I am, or like I've still got so much to learn. So this side was just a little bit longer, so we're just taking a little bit out of this. And I'm still just point cutting, keep it loose and soft so it's not too like just chunky and blunt. What was the other question again? It was, when did I feel like a hairdresser?
And how do you decide between concave and convex layers?
Deciding between concave and convex is all about end results, right? Do you want to keep length and weight at the bottom and add movement? Like, is the hair really long? Then concave is going to be great because it's going to blend shorter to longer. It keeps the weight at the bottom, adds movement on the interior. If you want something to sit really rounded and fluffy and full, on a lot of time on shorter lengths, I like a convex, or on curly hair because it's going to like follow the shape of the head all the way around. On long hair, sometimes it takes too much out in the front because it follows it all the way through, and you can get a little hole. It kind of is like the state board haircut, uniform layer haircut. So you just think about what is the end result that you want. Like when I want layers that look heavy and that expand out and get like, especially for curly hair that I want to be round, I might go convex. If I want to follow the shape of the head and have something accent the shape of the head, convex. If I want long, flowy, seamless layers on long hair that keep the length and the weight at the bottom, I go concave. Okay, so you can have a seat.
What is your first advice for cut hair learners? And he cut the front of the head at the very beginning of the live video.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that.
So if you missed the beginning of this live, remember that you can always re-watch my lives by subscribing on Instagram. So you know that we have our website that has like full length.
Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed.
She's obsessed. She
I'm
says.
obsessed.
They are too. They're all saying you're gorgeous.
Thank y'all.
And look, this is like this is no blow drying though. Like we're just getting this like killer like ponytail look with no blow dryer. Just letting this happen.
Do we have a video for the Bixie?
Oh, yeah, we do. We've got a Bixie on the website. A Bixie is a way of combining a bob and a pixie, right? So it's kind of in between lengths, bob and a pixie. Kristen has one. She's wearing one right now. But yes, we have that on the website. You can always see that on the website. Another great place for Bixie step-by-steps. Our friends over at Renegade Royals, Brianna Cisneros, quick brush with death recently that she survived. So we're happy that she's still putting out step-by-steps because that's the most important thing. She lives so she can continue to teach us how to do hair better. Brianna is really great at doing that haircut. She does it a lot. I'm missing some of the things that I want to use right now. So we're going to skip some of the products. Whoa. Okay, this is just a simple moisturizing spray from Goldwell, leave-in conditioner. We're going to keep it light. You don't want a lot of products. You just need a lot of products.
Do you ever add product to wet hair before cutting?
Sometimes, especially like sometimes with razor cutting, I'll add. This is a great thing to
That
add.
smells so good.
Yeah, this is just like
Oh
a
my gosh,
like
that
a leave-in
smells amazing.
conditioning spray. Give you some moisture, some protein, some shine.
I need that as a perfume.
She wants to wear it as a perfume. That's a good idea.
It smells so good.
You see like this color too? We did no base melting, just one tone. I'm gonna post this tomorrow, like how to do her color. So here's how we'll do the blow dry. We're just gonna do a quick rough dry. Look up quick ceiling for me. We're just rough drying this all over the place. And then we're gonna use a brush for just a little bit.
Do you usually cut the bangs first?
Do I usually cut the bangs first? I like to start in the shortest point of a haircut, usually, and move on to longer lengths. For this, the bangs is the shortest point of the cut, so I did start there. If somebody was like doing bangs, but they already had like long bangs, they're just making them a little shorter, but they were cutting all their length off, I would start with that. Like, I think start with your biggest change so that they experience that change right away and they're not sitting there stressing out about it. We're just going to get most of the moisture out of this for the rough dry. All right, I'll let you enter the competition right now. So if you screenshot a moment of me blow drying, that you can see the blow dryer, and you tag me, and you're going to post it to your story. Screenshot a moment of this, any moment, any one of these moments right now, screenshot it, and then you can post it to your story, tag me, and tag Babyliss Pro USA. BABYLISSPRO USA, Babyliss Pro. You can see it right here. If you don't already follow them, you need to. Tag both of us, post it to your story. We choose a winner at random. We'll reach out to you and you'll get a blow dryer sent right, not a blow dryer, flat iron sent right to you. Any of these moments, you can keep screenshotting. We do it every single week, so if you don't win this week, you can always try again next week. Once we get it a little bit rough dried, we're going to grab a big old brush. Yes, it's an ergo brush. Look down for me. There we go. And look down for a minute. I'm going to start in the back. We're just blow drying this stuff out of the way. And then just taking big sections, similar to the size of the brush. Okay, do you have your phone?
My phone?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna snag a side shot of your blow dry. Or is it in your purse? What you should do is just snag a shot of me in the mirror blow drying. And then we can use that. I like your edit and any background.
You want me to video?
Yeah, just like a little video in the mirror of your hair getting blown out. So just big sections here. We're not trying to over-style either. I'm not trying to like take 50 million panels to blow dry. We've got her basically dry, you know. We just want to polish and add shape right now. All that nice steam coming out. Round that up, heat it up, and twist it out. And we move on to our next section. It can be just about as big as the brush. I just referred to the video she's getting. I'm getting you.
Yes.
You so glamorous. You know, I'm super sunburned. Look at my head. Look at this. Pretty bad. Pretty bad sunburn. We went to Alabama to the beach for a friend's wedding, and I got crazy sunburn.
Yeah, I thought you were angry this morning.
Yeah, she's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I'm sunburned." So we're just trying to lift up and heat up those roots, heat the base up so that we get more lift through the top. Again, we did no base melting, no base capping. This is all just application. Wrap it up. Last thing that we do as we're doing this is we wrap it up, heat it up,
Mark it with a B.
and twist it out. What is that? Mark it with a B?
A B. You just reminded me of the patty cake song when the way you said it.
How do you know Kristen has 2 little kids? Because things remind her of the patty cake song. That's how we know she has children.
Are you gonna dry cut after the blow dry?
Yeah, I think I always like to go over something when it's dry. Even if like when you cut with a razor, you have a lot less refinement that you have to do usually. Because you're cutting texture and shape all at the same time. But I still think it's a good idea to check. So I always like to go over it dry and just double check and see if we need to change anything.
Is that her natural base color?
It's her natural base. There's no change in the base. We toned with a 9 pearl neutral from Goldwell, gloss tones, for 10 minutes. Just lifted her up to a level 9 all over. The top, I'm just kind of pulling it down and forward a bit. Everyone's relying so much on a base melt, which I love a base melt. I think that they're great, a great tool to get very seamless without it. Like if it doesn't blend without it, you know that a base melt is a toner. It's demi-permanent color at best. So it's gonna fade, you know? So you have to make sure that when it fades, you get very seamless flowing color. So this is no base melt, just application of color. Looks stunning. She gets those like pops of brighter tones in the front. We get all this like blendy, melty, gorgeous blonde. I'm posting the after for this tomorrow, or not just the after, the application of the color. So screenshot any one of these moments too. Remember, you got to tag me and tag Babyliss in the story to enter to win a free smoothing iron, free 3,000 smoothing iron.
Will you ever try Air Touch and post it on the fancy website?
Yes. Last time I did her color, I did use Air Touch to do it. I've done that on Shelby before, done that a bunch of people before. We will probably add it to the website at some point, but I want to get a master on the website to do it. Maybe we can convince Danilo to come and do it. You guys don't know who he is? He's one of the best, one of my favorite people to watch do Air Touch. Very thorough, very funny, and very talented. So hopefully we get him to be on.
The Air Touch was by far one of my favorite
Colors you
I've
have?
ever had. It grew out so beautifully.
Just grows out soft. And it's another thing that you don't have to do a base melt on it to do it the right way. This is back combing, which is going to give you a very similar result to the Air Touch.
How long have you been a hairdresser?
I've been doing hair for almost 16 years. Very old. How old am I? I'll be 35. So I'm getting up there.
I have a few curly-haired clients, and no matter what haircut I do, the layers just do not show up nicely. What might I be doing wrong?
That's a hard thing to answer, considering I don't know what it looks like. I'd have to see what it looks like, and then maybe I could give some advice about like what to change. Because I don't know what you mean by show up nicely. Like you can't see them, or you can see them, but they're sitting ugly or heavy or something. So there's a lot to unpack there.
Should I cut the curly and wavy ladies dry or wet? And what inspired you to become a hairstylist?
You know, a lot of the time, I like to work on curly hair while it's curly, where I can see what the hair looks like. I can see what the curl looks like. Sometimes when it's wet, the curl gets pulled out and it's harder to work on it. Wavy hair, I think I go either way. I go wet or dry. Sometimes I might want to use a razor on wavy hair as well, and I want to do that wet. And I started doing hair because of music. You know, I was into punk music growing up, and everybody wanted fun, funky, crazy hair. I was in a band, you know, all that sort of stuff, and I just started cutting my friend's hair, and that's how I started out. So to the front, I flip the blow dryer the opposite way so I can pull forward. Like twist on the way out. You even like give it a little twist after, we're still wet in the back. And then heat it up with the dryer. A lot of things I do with just my hands too, like as often as possible I'll blow dry with just my hands if I can.
In my hair, you can definitely do that with.
Yeah. She she actually gets some good wave in her hair too. She has a great scrunchy finish. And these bangs, it's like just pulling them to the opposite side here. I can pick them all up. There we go. And then we'll let them go. So you see, we get this like semi-bang. It's like not fully there, but there's a little bit of something there. You know, it's reminding me of like sort of 90s like Baywatch kind of bangs. Like we've been asked this a bunch, like for like Pam Anderson style stuff, which I think is totally cool right now. You see, it just gives her like this little hint at something fringy, draws attention to her eyes, to her eyebrows, but doesn't cover her eyes and eyebrows up, doesn't hide her away. It just frames things and like draws your eye to her, which is I think a really fun thing. A little bit in the back that I forgot to do. Forgot this side of the back. We're gonna go ahead and get this side done. And then again, we'll roll it in, heat it up, and twist it out. And you know, we probably will come back in and put a little extra polish on this in the end, but for now I think that's plenty. Hello. Killer shape, really beautiful, really pretty ponytail. Gets all the blonde that she wants, but still stays really low maintenance, so she doesn't have to come in 6 weeks and do this again.
Where do you buy your mannequin heads?
I buy from a company called Hair Art, normally. Hair Art or Pivot Point. Either one of those are great companies. See, this seems a little long to me right here. Like this little piece is long. So we're going to grab it.
Should I come around over there?
That's okay.
Stay right here.
And then I'm just going to sort of like back home it a little bit with my scissors to lift it up a tiny bit more. And just a little more. So just come in and we're going to back home. Very, very light pressure. We don't want too much to come off there. That's better. It's a very glamorous kind of a look. I think this is cool because for so long, only like messy, undone hair has been popular. And now, like a little bit of refined, like glamorous hair is coming back. And I think that is awesome. I love it. And it's going to make it so that hairdressers have to be good again. And I don't mean that, as a big insult to everybody. But doing like undone hair, doing scrunchy hair that air dries, doing like, curled hair that looks like you rolled down a hill, which we've all been doing, and it's super cool, is easy. It's easy for us, and it's great because it's always going to be popular because it's easy for clients too. But as clients are coming in and asking for more definition, more style, more glam, you got to start to be good. You got to like really practice styling a lot.